So today, lads, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Angel Reese trade to the Atlanta Dream. And for everyone talking about how fleeced the Chicago Sky got, the rumor is that it's not all they're doing. That part of the reason why the Chicago Sky got, for lack of a better way of describing it, quote unquote, fleeced by the Atlanta Dream is because they were working with Angel's team to send her to a place that Angel wanted. However, by the sounds of things, the best package that they were offered was from the Wings, and she turned it down. That it wasn't because everyone was like, how did these other teams not outbid Atlanta for Angel? Apparently they did. Apparently Dallas offered a much better package, and it was Angel Reese that said, no, I want to go to Atlanta. So, like, the Chicago Sky decided they were going to, quote unquote, do right by Angel and be like, and send her there in a, look, this isn't working for either of us, so we'll send you where you want to go type deal. Or we want you gone, you don't want to be here, we'll send you where you want to go. Yeah, and that is one of those things where it becomes really interesting because, like, Angel's gone to a place where, I'm not going to lie, like, I don't know if Angel plays more than 25 minutes a game at Atlanta. She should. Like, she should play more than 25 a game at Atlanta. But, like, Carlos Mesco is not going to allow her get away with some of the bullshit that Teresa Weatherspoon did. Like, whatever about Tyler Marsh. But it was reported, obviously, about the, by one of the people from No Cap Space who are, in fairness, like, they're on the money a lot of the time. Says, I don't have specifics yet, but I've been told Dallas had a better on-paper offer for Angel Reese, but Angel and their team really want Atlanta, so Jeff prioritized that in the deal. It's one of those things where she basically just said, nah, Paige, nah. Smart move by Angel, she can grow more on off the court in Atlanta. I mean, yeah, fair enough. And it's one of these things where, like, a lot of people say that, but, like, everyone's like, oh, when Paige and Angel team up, it's going to be the biggest thing. That's true as well. And the thing is now that Angel Reese, when it comes to the Atlanta Dream, there's no chance. It doesn't seem like there's much of a chance of Angel Reese staying with Atlanta post-rookie. You know what? Fuck it. Like, she probably could. At this stage, I don't know. I was like, oh, maybe she'll have to leave because of, a certain amount of money when it comes to the salary cap. But you know what? I don't know. The New York Liberty, apparently the Aces have 3 players on a max deal, $800K for Jewel Lloyd, and are somehow still have max money to pay for what's her name, Gabby Williams. And I'm like, the Indiana Fever have currently got 1 player on a max, and we may not be able to afford to keep Sophie Cunningham. Like, what? Where there are teams that have 4 max players. But yeah, it is going to be interesting because, again, the Mo Billings one has been announced. But yeah, it's an interesting enough one in that regard. But, like, I am surprised that, first of all, I'm surprised Chicago did it. So everyone talking about Chicago getting fleeced, it turns out they got fleeced because they wanted to, like, essentially they wanted to do right by Angel, which is probably which is genuinely probably one of the more positive things. All the Angel fans go mad at the franchise. Like, well, they sent her exactly where she wanted to. They sent her exactly where she wanted to go. And also, the fact that it must have been that big of a difference between going to Atlanta and going to Dallas, that she vetoed the trade, it seems. It seems like Angel almost vetoed a trade to send her to play with Paige, which is a bit of a mad one, I guess. Because you would have just assumed that, like Angel would have wanted to play with Paige Bueckers. But clearly not. Clearly Angel would have probably been okay with playing with Paige, but you know what? It meant more for her being in Atlanta. And look, I'm not going to say she's wrong. She probably is right. She probably is right, to be honest. But it's still weird because for the whole offseason, everyone was talking about Paige all this, Paige all that. I still think there's a possibility that the number one pick was involved in a trade. The number one pick would have involved in the trade. But clearly the value for Angel Reese isn't as high as we thought, because the number two pick would have been that. I thought the number two pick was a given. Like, I thought the number two pick was an absolute given that the Minnesota Lynx were going to make that trade. Because the Lynx, I have no idea what's happening with the Lynx. Like, they're probably keeping Kayla McBride. They're probably keeping what's her name? They're probably keeping, like, obviously K-Mac. Alana Smith probably is there. Courtney Williams, I have no idea. Courtney Williams is going to go where the money is. So yeah, it is a very, very interesting thing, again, seeing what's happening all around. But when it comes to the Angel Reese trade, I am still surprised that they didn't look for a little bit more, or didn't try to use leverage, and they just accepted a lesser offer to help out Angel, which all the Angel Reese fans going at the Sky, I mean, if you're a Sky fan, you're a bit pissed at that, because imagine you probably could have had like the same picks from Dallas with Zaza James or something, and I'm like, that's way better on paper. Or you could have had one. You could have had one. And the thing is with Dallas is, clearly it looks like the Dallas Wings are going to be a mediocre team this year. And by mediocre, I mean they should try to win less than 15 games. Like at this, like if you're not going to make the playoffs, the worst thing you can do is win 18 games after winning 10 last year. That gives you an average of 14 wins a season, which is going to give you like the fourth best odds at number one in a draft where, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say it's a one-person draft, because I like Madison Booker, I like Hannah Hidalgo, but I will say the gap between Juju and the rest is big. It is big. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That's pretty much it. When it comes down to it, I will say everything has been that was reported about the Sky, like getting fleeced. It turns out it seemed like it was all for to make sure that Angel got where she wanted to go, I guess. Anyway, see you guys.